Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something different. So this is a piece of mulberry. It's still like 15% moisture. Um, I've been trying to dry all my stuff just naturally by letting it sit in the barn. Never done an end grain bowl, but we're going to attempt with this one. And it might be tempting fate. I'm not sure how it's going to come out. Like you can see, that's all tore up. This is still when they cut down the branch or cut up the branch. This is a crack right here. We got a bunch of little cracks up top. This is from a branch that fell off of a friend of mine's tree, and I went and collected it. I got a bunch more downstairs, and I'm going to let it dry further. But this one here, I'm going to tempt fate and see what happens. With it still not being fully dry, it could end up cracking and falling apart. Since it is end grain, that's what I'm assuming. Never done it. There's a pretty decent sized one there. I'm gonna try to leave the cracks alone. Just if it's not gonna fall apart, I'm gonna leave them alone. If it looks like it might in the future, I'm gonna fill it with CA and keep it as natural as possible. But it's not gonna be natural edge or live edge or anything like that. It's just gonna be end grain and mulberry. So we're gonna give it a try. I tell you what, it's real tempting to not just pour resin in there, like some purple. What to do? I'm gonna start working on this bottom, then we'll go from there. Well, I forgot to hit the record button, but I didn't do much. Just kind of cleared this bottom up a little bit. That just looks gorgeous. But I don't know if those cracks mean it's going to fall apart or if it's going to stay together. Cutting real nice though. Man, it's beautiful. If you like rugged look, this is your wood. Definitely got to clean up this outside more, but that might go away when I start angling this bowl the shape I want it, especially on the bottom part. So we're going to get to doing that, and then, man, I still can't decide if I want these cracks in here or not. I do, but dang, it's just, They're rather large. I don't know, since I don't know what a end grain bolt is generally capable of doing, I'm a little bit scared of finishing it and then it just kind of falling apart. Guess we're gonna find out. There's one way that you can always find out how it will work is do it. Then you'll know. I guarantee it. Alright, so I thought about it a little bit. I am going to put resin at least up here because these cracks are rather large, and I'm afraid when I start doing the inside they'll fully separate. Then you'd more or less have a flower rather than a bowl, and I'm not really wanting to make a flower. I don't want to ruin all this. I don't think I will, because that right there is what I'm looking for. But you have some cracks down here. So the way I'm going to try to prevent from ruining that, we're going to tape this. That way the resin doesn't come down and run out. It'll stop right there. So you'll still get most of those, because most of those little cracks there probably ain't big enough to where you're going to have a lot of resin sticking into it. But these up here you will. They're pretty big. So I'll bring you back when I get that all filled in. It's probably going to take me at least an hour or so. Let it set up. I got some 5-minute epoxy that I'm going to work on. So I'll bring you back when I'm done with that. Hopefully I don't forget this time. Alright, I had to let that sit. But we're back. I'm going to... Man, I don't know, it's still a little tacky. I might have used too much acetone. I used acetone to thin it out to let it get down in there. Might have done too much. I'm gonna shave the top of this off. Check it. I might have to fill more in. I see some spots that doesn't look completely filled in. Yeah, there's one or two spots that could use a little bit more. I'll try to not use acetone this time so it won't take as long to set up. So I'm going to get that filled in more, and I'll be right back. We're going to get this done one way or another. Alright, so I think I got it all filled in. This is still a little tacky, but I can work on the bottom, get the bottom done, and by that time this should be fully set up, and then I can just kind of shave the outside here, and we should be done with the outside, hopefully. This is taking a while. So since this is end grain, I'm not sure how trustworthy this is going to be. So I'm going to pour a little bead of CA glue around the edge. Hopefully to give it more strength. But nothing's guaranteed, I suppose. Looks like this is, feels like it's fully set up. So I can go ahead and shave this down and start sanding. Alright, I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to run, probably 120 to either 320 or 400, depending on how it feels on the outside here. Likely going to be 320, but I'm just going to be sanding with the 2-inch disc. I'll bring it back when I'm done. Alright, we're going to use shellac here because I like it, and I think this will bring out a good shine. Doesn't look too bad. Could look better. Alright, I'm going to give this about 2 more coats and I'll bring it back when I got it flipped around and get ready to do the inside. Just inspecting some of these cracks here. This one goes all the ways in. Well, not all the way in, but goes past my thickness. Some of them might be exposed again when I get down in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to fill them in or leave them as is. The main point was to keep it from falling apart, and it looks like that was a good idea. Trying to avoid taking bigger bites while I'm using my smaller tools, because this actually kind of scares me, doing an end grain. I've seen it done, never done it, but now I am. And I'm not used to it. Alright, time for sanding again. I don't think I'm going to do anything on the inside except sanding it and finishing it. It will be as it will be. I think those cracks on the bottom look interesting. It's a pretty thick bottom, but we're going to leave it like that. I think it looks good. Same as before. 120 to 120 to 320. Same as the outside, we're going to coat this with shellac. was sand this down, finish at the bottom. Be right back. Alright, things I would have done differently. Well, when I first got this thing rounded out, when we first started seeing all those cracks on the outside, like that, I should have taken it off, put it in my mold, poured some resin in, put it in the pressure pot, and let it sit for 24 hours. That would have ensured that most of these cracks would have been filled a lot better. Like you can see, some of them small ones, they just don't look good. Now I don't know if it would have filled the ones on the inside, because like right there you see one on the inside. I believe it's this one right here. That one connects to the one on the outside here, so it didn't quite go in all the way. Some of them did go all the way through, some of them didn't, and that was even with me thinning it out with acetone. But that bottom, I tell you what, that is something beautiful to look at. Yeah, that's probably what I would do different. And I have the log that this came from, because what I did when I first brought that load of mulberry home, I took a small log, cut a little piece off, you know, this size, and to measure the moisture on the inside a little deeper, and I decided, hey, I can still use this, just do end grain. It's not as easy, it's harder in my opinion, unless that's just mulberry. I've never done mulberry. One thing I was told, because when I was told there's a bunch of mulberry I can pick up, I was kind of excited, because I know mulberry is supposed to have purple in it, but what I was told is, I believe this is the female. One of them is purple, one of them is not. And this one is obviously not. That's why I added the purple. It's mulberry. I don't even know if you can tell if it's purple or not. But it looks good. I think it looks pretty decent. It's a nice little decorative piece, especially this area right here. This is my favorite spot right here. Just look at that. But there we go. One piece of mulberry done. I got a bunch more still drying out. This one was 15%. I haven't checked it since I finished it, because I don't want to put a poker in there, but that's what it is. We're going to see if it works and how it looks after it does. We're going to see if it finishes cracking or not, and I guess we'll go accordingly, but it is done. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been a while since I've done a video. Life got a little bit busy. Yeah, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, this is what's gonna, man, I tell you what, I love that. Anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will try to keep putting more out like this. And maybe in the future you'll see more mulberry pieces. I got quite a few of them. Until next time, have yourself a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back here hopefully next week.